Alright, next step is going to be to install the rear support bracket using the two 3/8 by 1 inch bolts, and those are going to go right back in the same location as your stock rear bracket. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of the blue Loctite on there. As you know, Thunderheaders are known to rattle, but this bracket looks pretty thick, so hopefully you won't have any issues with any rattling or cracking. So hang on while I get that going. Alright, we got the rear bracket installed. They say to leave it a little loose at this time. Next step is going to be installing the collector onto the top portion of the pipe. So hang on. We'll get that going. Alright, next step is going to be to install the collector. What you're going to want to do is take one of the 5/16 by 1 inch hex head screw that they give you. You're going to go ahead and stick that through the channel, and they also give you a kind of like diagram, you know, kind of showing you how the orientation goes. So this one here, you're just going to slide the bolt right into this channel here, and it will hold itself in place, and that's going to go through the bracket on the that we just installed after we slide the collector onto the pipe. So hang on, we'll get that going. So what I did was loosen up the bolts to the point where you can move the actual bracket, and I had to kind of angle it in order to get the rear hex head bolt to slide through. Got the collector slid on as far forward as I think it needs to be. Next step is going to be to tighten up the clamp here on this guy, as well as go ahead and tighten your flange bolts now this time. Key thing is leave this loose until you tighten up your flange bolts. They want you to do that first, and then come back once those are tightened, come back and tighten the clamp. Alright, after you tighten your flange bolts, you're going to go ahead and tighten the clamp that holds the collector onto the head pipe. I went ahead and took mine off again because I didn't like the way the clamp was. I had it so the screw was underneath, but it would have been harder to get to and look cleaner, I think, if it's going to be coming from the top. So you're going to go ahead and tighten this guy down, and then once you do that, you're going to go ahead and tighten up the rear bracket bolts. Alright, last step is going to be to tighten up this rear most bolt. So you're going to go ahead and put a washer and a nylock nut that was supplied, and once you do that, you can go ahead and put your heat shields after you clean off all the surfaces. I usually use like acetone on a rag that gets rid of any fingerprints or anything like that. And remember, I'm keeping, for now, I just kind of got these on there. They're pretty tight. I don't have a bag bracket yet, so I'm probably going to have to make one of those. But for the video purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that on there like that until I can either order the correct bag bracket for the ST, or I'm going to go ahead and just make one like I've seen other guys do in videos on YouTube. Alright, I got all my bolts tight for now. I'm going to leave my heat shields off until tomorrow once I get everything cleaned up, and give it its first startup tomorrow after I install my Power Vision tuner. One step I did leave out, which was probably the most important step, is have a cold one. Cheers.